quiet down, please. Thank you for attending this ceremony of celebration. Even though you're sitting with your grade level like a pep assembly, this ceremony isn't a rah-rah assembly like our pep assemblies. However, I would like to congratulate everyone on making it through the school year to sit in your new class section. Although it is of serious nature, I encourage you to cheer for our seniors and staff and expect you to show respect while speakers are at the microphone. We gather here today to recognize our seniors. Here's some information for you to know before we bring them in. As they enter, you will notice that several graduates will be wearing gold cords, which indicate their membership in the National Honor Society. Some may be wearing white cords, also known as torch cords, which represent their status as one of the top 75 graduates in their class. Others may be proudly wearing one of the department award medals, and a distinguished few will be wearing the Bulldog Scholars Cord, made of platinum silver thread to indicate that they have earned a 4.0 or above. At this time, I invite you to stand for the senior processional, as Mr. Scher leads the Mount Vernon High School Symphonic Band in the traditional rendition of Pomp and Circumstance, followed by the Star Spangled Banner. Please remain standing as the seniors walk. Banner, performed by Tate Cohen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Congratulations, seniors. Now, it is my privilege to hand it over to our newly elected ASB officers. President Edith Simcock, Vice President Molly Wilson, Treasurer Anna Levine, Secretary Claire Kenning, Historian Carson Liddell, and Public Relations Officer Jared Levin.
Thank you, Sarah. During this very special season of commencement, we celebrate the happy conclusion of a high school career, along with the wondrous new possibilities that await our seniors. But before we get too far into this ceremony, we would like to invite two special seniors to the stage to recite a modified version of a poem that we all know and love. Please welcome James Madsen and Jackson Ball.
When you start on your journey to Ithaca,
Then pray that the road is long, full of hardship, hard work, and hard times, all which teach you who you are. If your thoughts are made lofty, if that Mount Vernon pride touches your soul,
you might just find you can break the lines that stop you. Don't stop you.
then pray that the road is long, and Mr. McCall's psychology blows your mind. Mr. Ziegler's philosophy, the Gaussian machine, just pray that the road is long.
That the summer mornings are many, that in freshman year you believe you're a 0. Math will teach you you can wear a belt and be an 8. Even better, don't settle, hold up a 1 and be a 10. That history will teach you about the greats, and you realize that not all the greats make the history books. The ones that mean the most to us don't always do. Like the baseball cap warriors, the pavement stargazers, and especially the ones who stay late to make sure you graduate. Who spend hours for kids who aren't throwing blood because they care and they're there and there's never enough thank yous to be spared for them. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Pray you don't regret Lake Day before the CBA. Just push through. No doubt what you can do. Like Miss Bremen and Miss McGuire taught you. Pray that it's hard. And don't ask if you're there yet. Just listen and learn from those who have knowledge.
While always keep Ithaca in your mind. To arrive there is your ultimate goal. So when you cross the stage, look out and remember, you were here. Today you're a sound, tomorrow an echo. So when you cross that stage, Stop for a moment, listen to your echo. You made some noise, feel it.
So never get that moment. If you have made it to Ithaca, don't forget the hard times, hard work, and dedication. You never lost your stride, and you earned that Mount Vernon pride.
And if you find her poor, Ithaca has not defrauded you.
With the great knowledge you have gained, with so much experience,
You must surely have understood by now what Ithaca means. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. The seniors were not the only ones celebrating happy endings and looking forward to the next phase of their lives. As the seniors prepare for their lives outside the sacred walls of Mount Vernon High School, we also say goodbye to some very special Bulldog staff members who have announced their retirement. On behalf of all Bulldogs, past and present, we wish to present these flowers to our retirees.
Cheryl Hughes. Mrs. Hughes has been a school nurse here at Mount Vernon High School for 28 years, with experience at LaVenture, Centennial, Jefferson, Little Mountain, Washington, and Lincoln. Her favorite memory from Mount Vernon High School was this spring when she was driving the van home from the district tennis competition with Miranda, Paige, and Jenna dancing in the backseat. She will miss the awesome staff she has gotten to know over the years and the energy and excitement that students bring every day. She plans to spend time traveling in her motorhome and then decide after that. Thank you, Mrs. Hughes. Janet Patrick. Ms. Patrick has been a secretary at Mount Vernon for 3 years, with 35 years of secretary experience in Anacortes, Burlington, and Conway. Her favorite memory from Mount Vernon High School was when the entire student body sang her happy birthday during a fire drill. She will miss the students here at Mount Vernon. She says, "You are amazing, Bulldogs. You care about your school and about your education." She plans to spend her time riding motorcycles, golfing, and scrapbooking, but most of all, relaxing. Thank you, Ms. Patrick. Cindy Luke. Ms. Luke has been an employee here for 25 years. She has seen the second generation of Bulldogs from the graduates when she first started. Her favorite memory is when the life skills students brought her birthday cards designed by each student and sang her happy birthday. It touched her so much that it made her cry. Her future plans are to sleep past 5 a.m., travel, volunteer, and relax with her family. Thank you, Ms. Luke. Mike Richter. Mr. Richter has been teaching for 35 years here at Mount Vernon High School. His favorite memory is when he convinced several juniors that he was actually present during Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. He taught at Snoqualmie Middle School for 1 year before coming to Mount Vernon High School. He will miss the dedicated and inspirational staff and students who lead Mount Vernon High School to do great things. His future plans are to stay active, travel, develop numerous hobbies, and become a Jedi Master. May the Force be with you, Mr. Richter. Thank you, retirees. It is my honor and privilege to introduce concert choir under the direction of Miss Megan Lizalma to perform Back Home by Andy Grammer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome concert choir.
pleased to introduce you to a student who has a remarkable gift for writing and speaking inspiration. Someone who has a message to give each of you to send off this year as well as look ahead to the next year. Please give a warm welcome to Katie Keck.
Thank you, Sydney. So in high school, you learn how to define things. In English, you define words. In science, you define properties. In math, you define variables. In social studies, you define history, places, and events. All of these things that we learn to define are helpful in life. One thing we learn to define in high school is not helpful. This is people. Imagine your best friend, the one you go to for any problem that exists. Now define them for me, but you can only use one word. I had trouble doing this. I can't think of just one word. My best friend is an athlete. In fact, she's on the Hall of Fame in the hall. But that's not the best way to describe her. She's also smart, organized, crazy, in a good way, of course, hilarious, supportive, and so much more. You see, I can't think of just one word because it does not encapsulate everything that my best friend is. She is more than just one word. In high school, we inadvertently define people, especially the ones that we don't know. But usually, we only do this by using one word. This is bad because usually one word comes with a cultural connotation. Thank you, Ms. Preston, for teaching me what that means. So, when we hear that somebody's a jock, we instinctively think, oh, they're buff, they're male, they probably have a low IQ, they walk around in a Letterman jacket all day and bully the smart kids. Of course, we all know that this isn't true. But for some reason, we think it's okay to define and judge someone based off one characteristic. If you were to bring a character chart into English class with only one trait for each character, your teacher would hand it back to you and tell you that it's incomplete. But for some reason, it doesn't translate to life. I'm guilty of doing this. Heck, we all are. School's hard living under a single definition. Some of the hardest moments you live are when you're defined by a single thing. The moments that are the best are the moments that you let yourself be the things you believe yourself to be, not what someone else believes you to be. Your self-confidence should not be reliant on the number of likes you get on Instagram and Facebook or the number of favorites you get on a tweet. Your intelligence is not defined by a single grade. Your athleticism is not defined by the team you make. The amount you are liked is not defined by royalty at dances. Your behavior is not defined by a single detention. There is a quote that says, what someone else says about you says more about them than it does about you. Remember this, for underclassmen as you travel through high school, for seniors during the rest of your life. Please look for more complete definitions of people.
This guy has it all. He's got swag, awesome dance moves, a friendliness that reaches everyone, and an obvious passion for his job. He must be one of the most involved principals as he is seen cheering loudly at Bulldog sport events, clapping enthusiastically for all our band and choir concerts, making sure every community event held at the high school goes smoothly and successfully, and engaging with all the students here in Mount Vernon. So without further ado, give it up for our very own Mr. Merrill.
I would like to first recognize some of our fine students in the classroom amongst the class of 2015. So I'm going to get my mouse and focus really close. I need a manual clicker down there. Oh, there it goes. Wrong. These are our distinguished scholars. These are students who you see before you wearing a platinum cord and who have achieved a 4-point or higher weighted GPA while at Mount Vernon High School. When I announce your name, will you please stand? Petra Dubakova. Gibson, Michael Giles, Casey Goodwin, Abigail Hendricks, Iris Hubbard, Maria Ireland, Katie Keck, Miranda Leduc, Cassidy Logan, Olga Osichuk, Sarah Park, Aiden Schmidt, Brooke Struzma, and Jin Yu. Do we have a round of applause for these guys? I would also like to honor our salutatorian, Iris Hubbard. If you could stand. Be recognized. Thank you, Iris. And our co-valedictorians that will be fighting in the circle for the valedictorian of death match. Just decide who really is going to be the valedictorian after this assembly, so if you want to see that. Our two valedictorians are Michael Giles and Casey Goodwin. Thank you. You may be seated. And now, this is a tradition that I've been doing for the past 3 years, since we couldn't do it 4 years ago because we were outside. This is the class of 2015 top 10 list at Mount Vernon High School. We'll start with the top 10 reasons we will not miss the class of 2015. Number 10, wasting time trying to convince Francis Pimentel that AP Spanish is not a PE class. Number 9, Ms. Gonzalez will no longer have to hide her snacks from Gabby in the counseling office. Evidently, Gabby is stealing all of Ms. Gonzalez's food. Number 8, this one really hurt. Being blocked on Twitter by Tiva and Elise. You know what I'm talking about, Tiva. Remember, I'm the principal. Not blocked forever. Number 7, Araceli Rodriguez defacing my office with 100 post-it notes when I failed to turn in her culminating project evaluation. What was that about? Principals can procrastinate too. Number 6, the questionable fashion statements made by the members of the class of 2015. I have to warn you, this is what happens at moving up assembly stays at moving up assembly. Number 5, Miranda Leduc and Lauren Biggs' sullen, grouchy, and generally pessimistic attitudes. Frankly, I'm tired of it. Will you guys just lighten up a little? Number 4, Michael Giles beating me back to school during the annual Veterans Day Devil's Mountain Run. So, as a freshman, I could beat Michael. As a sophomore, I beat Michael because he was unwilling to run out in traffic on section. And I had a little pride, so I was going for it. As a junior and a senior, he was back having a sandwich and doing his AP calculus work before I got back. So, frankly, I'm glad he's graduated. Number 3, Joey Carl and Nick Ricketts always flexing and looking at themselves in the mirror. We get it. You have big guns, all right? Let's move on. Number 2, seniors who skip on senior skip day and then come in and ask Ms. Farron for all of their missing assignments. You kind of are missing the point on senior skip day. And number 1, drum roll please. Thank you. We will never, ever again have to hear about Hannah Gang. Okay, and these are the reasons we are going to miss the seniors. We really will miss them. Number 10, my long conversations with Hannah Oliver and Carter Otis. You know, we just shared things, Hannah and Carter. our long talks about the meaning of life, about your dreams and aspirations, about where you saw the school headed in the next few years. I'm going to miss that. I think, Carter, you may have said one word to me in the 4 years you were a member of the school. But you can always write. Number 9, Caitlin Garza's laugh. Number 8, Carl Jones's mad skills. Number 7, the inspiration of the dreamers, believers, and achievers, Martha Morales, Lucia Garcia, Silvania Hernandez, Teresa Santos, Luis Lopez Garcia, and Augustine Marino. Number 6, the vocal talents of Esther Chong, Angel De Leon, Ebony Harris, Michael Giles, Micah Hall, Abby Hendricks, Christina Kazanka, Hayden Schmidt, Tyler Small, and Jin Yu. Those are our seniors. Our English teachers must be doing something right because we have some amazing poets here. So the poetic talents of Madison Jeffries, James Matson, Luis Lopez Garcia, and Jessica France. Okay, this next one, you may not know the other side of why this happened every day, but I'm going to miss Sarah Park not being able to make it through morning announcements without laughing. What many of you don't know is that Ryan Beatty, our assistant principal, used to make Sarah laugh every day, and finally it got so bad we had to tell him you can't do it anymore. I think it's the day he wore his long underwear in front of Sarah. It was when we knew we had crossed the line into a place that may not be school. Number 3, Paige hears crazy ideas for student activities that actually work. Like when Paige told me, I'm going to paint the parking lot and it's going to look great, I thought she was crazy. When she floated her idea about Mr. MVHS, I thought we were going to show up on the front page of the paper for something really inappropriate. And they were great activities, so I wanted to give a shout out to Paige. Number 2, Gabe Bikeman's mullet. And the number 1 reason we are going to miss the class of 2015, their problem-solving skills. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Many of you don't know that Ebony Harris has the Mount Vernon High School record for student fines. Well, her class heard about this, and they were really upset, and they wanted to help Ebony out. So they created a used car lot in our very friendship circle. And they were all selling their cars to the highest bidder, thanks to Greg, our security guy, with the used car lot. And we're all raising funds to pay out Ebony's fine. So how about applause? You can't see it in the picture. That's yours? Okay, that's yours? Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Good luck, class of 2015.
It is my privilege to introduce to you our final guest speaker. Along with being one of the most avid Bulldog sports fans, he is an inspiring English teacher and our senior class advisor. Please give a warm welcome to Bulldog senior superfan, Mr. Shepard.
Hello. Going last is always a double-edged sword. If everybody else is terrible, then I look brilliant. But that hasn't happened today, so I'm a little bit worried about my speech. First of all, you got some people over here, and they supported you for 4 years. Give them a round of applause real quick. address a few things first, and there's bound to be redundancy in some of these speeches, but Birkenstocks and flannels around the waist and hammocks. You guys are like 20 years too late on those things. Mr. McCall has been sleeping in a hammock on Little Mountain for years. It's just, I mean, it's, you know. I am Mr. Shepherd, and this is my moving up assembly speech. This act of getting up in front of a lot of people and giving a speech is not a comfortable one, despite what you think. Teachers, in spite of the fact that teachers often get up in front of 20 to 40 students every day and give speeches, tiny speeches, but speeches, they bare their souls about literature and theories and numbers and walking and cooking and maths. Let's read math. It's not easy, and many times it is completely nauseating. Jerry Seinfeld has a joke about the two greatest human fears, and they are death and public speaking. And number 2 is death, which means that at your average funeral, people would rather be giving in the casket than giving the eulogy. That's how that works. So I thought, what would I say as I'm standing up here terrified? I thought, let's talk about fear, right? Upon graduating high school, we all embark upon a journey to a magnificent and complex ant farm that we call humanity. And without emotion or prejudice, that world will make decisions without consulting you at all. And you go on for all of this, armed with basically nothing. So yeah, fear, I think that's what we should talk about. So I set out about finding what we're afraid of as bulldogs. And so I asked the seniors, and you may notice if you look around that there's a lot of you, so I don't have everybody's on here. And I tried to ask as many people as I could, but Maria Munoz said spiders, Chris Ekloff said speed bumps, Yasmin Davias was afraid of birds' feet. 2 words or less. They had to be 2 words or less. So Sidney DeLulo, killer whales. Eli Strong was afraid of cardboard. Saragi Bustos, big fear. Big, huge fear. Chihuahuas. Katie Keck is afraid of pretzels. Brandon Heyman is afraid of popcorn ceilings. I'm guessing there was a balloon incident when he was younger. Miriam Perez, feet. Taylor Lucas is afraid of butterflies because Silence of the Lambs, I assume. Ebony Harris is afraid of the Illuminati, which is totally real. Andrea France is afraid of awkward silence. I didn't have to wait as long as I thought I was going to. Kayla Guernsey is afraid of public speaking. And an inordinate amount of you are afraid of clowns. All of you are afraid of mothers, so congratulations, moms, you won. Itzel Garibay is afraid of frowning. Oscar Apalisa, no books. That's his big fear. If there were, like, she's got a book right here, somewhere, right now. I asked what you were afraid of in people's classrooms. If you're in Mr. Ingman's class, 2 words, head stand. Ms. Arpel, asking questions. Ms. Preston, essay grading. Mr. Stromer, watermelon gum. I don't even know about that. Ms. Grimm's class, everything. Mr. Kraft, twerking. Ms. Dio's class, Nicholas Sparks, we're afraid of that. I even wanted to ask some teachers, so I'll start close. Ms. Snyder was right down below, and I thought, okay, I went down and said, what are you afraid of? 2 words or less, Ms. Snyder, 2 words or less, tell me what you're afraid of. And she said, she goes, okay, quote, I'm afraid of getting fired when I throat punch Joey Corral for flexing his pecs in one more class one more time. One more time, Joey! Is that more than 2 words? I lost consciousness. What was the question? I'm sorry. End quote. In hindsight, asking teachers at the end of the year might have been a bad idea. But then, I was watching a Mariners game, and Fernando Rodney came in, which is its own special hell. Sorry, did I say Rodney in front of me? And the game went to commercial, because it was tied now. A few of you laughed at that, was good. And it was then that I decided that there's a pretty good chance that we have too much fear in our everyday existence already. You own a home? Someone Let's put cameras and alarms all around it. We have something we need help with? There's a pill. No worries, the only side effects are bleeding from the eyes, crippling diarrhea, and possible death. They have pills for everything. Everything. Be afraid, we are told, at almost every turn of the dial. The dial is the thing that you use to... be afraid. Be afraid of this president or that political party. Be afraid of these people who will attack us for this reason. Be afraid that they are coming to take our freedom. Be afraid of the police, of the government, of our teachers, of our parents, of that race, of this religion, or their music, because all of them are coming. They're coming for our jobs, for our rights, our faith, our money, our house, our guns, our kids, our family, our education. You, fantastic people, you are even told as teenagers that we should be somehow afraid of you, that you are feeling dirty. Every teacher has had this experience where you tell someone what you do for a living. Every high school teacher, what do you do? I teach high school. And you get that look, and every teacher knows that look because it means either I have sympathy for you, or do you have to wear a bulletproof vest? But here's the good or bad news. You're not all that scary. Even the scariest of you, when we talk about you behind your back, it's like, oh, I know, but when he's so adorable when he asks for help with the area of a cylinder. It's not. I'm not saying that none of this actually exists or that our fears are not real. They probably are. I've simply decided that we are now free to stop letting them make our decisions for us. The fears can be real and not controlling at the same time. We can't be afraid to let our fear become insignificant. 4 years ago, I asked the senior class to expect more, and I believe that you did. As a generation, you have more knowledge and data at your disposal, your immediate disposal, than anyone in history. Quite literally, shut up, at the flick of a thumb, you can know the answer to just about anything. But with this expectation of more, there is responsibility. That responsibility to do even more, to not accept that this is enough. And this is the moment that fear is able to creep in. Not because it's not easy to want, to earn more than what's comfortable right now. Fear is what gets in the way. I was talking to Mr. Finnegan, who's the head of our cute, furry, woodland creature dissection and taxidermy department. He also teaches science. I asked him a question. If there was a battle, a raging, fierce battle, between hot and cold, who wins? And this is the kind of things that keep me up at night. He said, well, cold doesn't exist. It's simply the absence of heat. To which I promptly blew him off as a lunatic and went to ask Mr. Engman. And he stamped on my forehead, which as far as I can tell meant that Mr. Engman was right, or that I had not completed my homework. So here's my idea. Here's what I propose. We decide that there is no such thing as fear. It is simply the absence of understanding and knowledge. Let's look at some examples. Film. You like film? Teach a class about film? There's a whole genre of films specifically directed to you about fear. American Graffiti, one of the best. Kurt wanders the streets of his small town before going off to college the next day, terrified of that next step. He even accidentally joins a street gang. Meanwhile, Steve discovers that his fear of being trapped in a small town has kept him from the love of his life. And John Miller, driving around in his hot rod, is afraid of death, but more afraid of being trapped as the same person he's always been. Literature, Lord of the Rings. Fear of Sauron does more than just abandon your one and only true love or the college dream you've been diligently working for 4 years. Fear causes you to abandon reason and morality for madness. I also asked Miss Lewis about fear in Star Wars, but she kept blabbering on about Klingons or something. I actually gave up. It's a pretty great joke. The fears that some students told me, the ones where I couldn't use their names, those are the fears that rankle your soul and tend to fester inside. The fear of being found out, the fear of telling the truth, the fear of actually trying and not succeeding, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of failing. So many of us are afraid of failure. And you know what? As teachers, our fear is that keeps you from trying. It's so easy to fall victim to that fear because we are told by so many different sources that failure is the end of the fight, or the end of the game, or the end of your learning. I know how hard it is to get into college, especially for some of us, but as you are sitting here right now, and you are sitting there tomorrow, let that be exhibit A, that failure, it's only temporary. We can now remove that from your list of fears, because each of us has failed at something. My mom will tell you, if you want, just ask her after, ask how much I failed along the way. And we now can remove it too, because each of us has failed at something, and yet here we are, we have arrived at this moment with varying levels of achievement and participation along the way. So ultimately, what this message comes down to is a choice between fear and understanding and knowledge. Because nothing will help you overcome fear like the understanding and calm that comes with knowledge. The only thing that makes me calm when I'm up here is going over it a few times. Knowledge. Are you going to accept that you need knowledge to be what you want to be? Because you know what? The easy jobs, they're already taken. Mostly by Mrs. Whitman. She does everything. She's all over the place. But they're taken. You've got to come up with something good. And you cannot be afraid to make that move and to take that chance. So instead of talking about what we could, should be afraid of, we're going to take the time right now to overcome some fears. Maria Munoz. Spiders, just look at all the small creatures that you're not afraid of. There's so many. They're adorable. Just get some, keep a zoo or something. It'd be great. Chris Eckloff, speed bumps, slow down, breathe deep, you're going to be okay. Yasmin Davia, bird's feet. Okay, this one's a little bit different, but I think they're not trying to get you. We need to reassure Yasmin they're not trying to get her. I think she'll be all right after that. Sydney DeLuo, don't go to SeaWorld. Okay? There's a documentary. I've got it in my room if you want to watch it. It's a little depressing, but you'll feel sorry for the creatures. You'll be all right. Eli Strom is afraid of cardboard, so stay away from refrigerator delivery, maybe as a job. That might be. Sarah Bustos, chihuahuas. Honestly, it's okay. Everyone's afraid of chihuahuas. I feel like they're a terrifying animal. Miriam Perez, feet. Listen, I'm not a mathematician, but that's like 1% of the body. Everything north of that, you're good. I feel like we can overcome that. Kayla Guernsey. Kayla, come on up! Just kidding. Fear of mothers. Actually, keep that one. You'll probably be better off if you stay afraid of your mom. Not wrong. Itzel, just keep smiling. You don't ever need to frown. You're fine. Katie, really, who isn't afraid of pretzels? I mean, the weird shape, the dry texture. You need some mustard in your life. It'll change the way you look at pretzels. It'll be good. Awkward silence. We're gonna do a couple of these together. Okay. Here's the thing about awkward silence. You have to be happy with yourself. For 20 seconds, we're gonna be happy with ourselves. So everybody, take your phone and put it under your leg. Everybody, right? Take your phone, put it under your leg. If it's away, leave it away. But if you've got your phone out, okay, not freshman, sophomore light, you too, come on everybody, if you're really staring at it right now, just put it away. Snapchats can wait. We all know my feelings on Snapchat, they can wait. Okay, we're just gonna be for 20 seconds. So I'm gonna say awkward silence, and we're gonna just be for 20 seconds. Okay? We're gonna overcome this fear together. Alright? Okay? Here we go. Awkward silence. Seconds is a crazy long time, isn't it? Nicely done. Give yourselves a round of applause. because it's a big one. Failure. Now, in my avid classes, I love TED Talks, I show them, they'll hate them, but I still keep showing them because I love them. And one of my favorites talks about how we can overcome some of the anxiety that we feel. And one of the best ones is you need to feel empowered. And one way to do that, and there's research about this isn't just like somebody, some of the stuff. There's actual research, I'm not kidding now, there's not a laugh line. Actual research. You gotta take up some space. So you need a pose, right? So we're just gonna do seniors right now. Seniors, stand up. Okay? So you have to get a pose. And it can be the Superman pose. Okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. Usain Bolt crossing the finish line. You just want to take up some space, and we're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to think your pose. Don't overthink this. Off the chairs, come on. I should have known that was gonna happen. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go, 10 seconds. Pose. Nicely done. All right, have a seat. Now, actually, it actually helps. You feel better. When you do that, you feel empowered. Do that before you go into your interviews. Next year, whatever you're doing in September, walk in there with confidence. You're Bulldogs, you graduated. I'm proud of all of you and everything that you've done. I can't wait to see you walk across the stage tomorrow night and get an empty thing that's supposed to. I'm just kidding. It's totally there, don't worry about it. Congratulations, thank you very much for 4 wonderful years. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Seniors, once again, congratulations on your many accomplishments. Good luck in the path that you choose to follow. Students and staff, let us give these graduates one more round of applause. Okay, so sophomores, juniors, and new seniors, you guys stay seated. The seniors are going to exit first, and then you go on fast. So seniors, you guys